Hello, my name is Kexin Wang, and the topic of my talk today is gender growth and illusory empowerment in shoujo manga. In our opinion, shoujo manga often shows cute characters and sweet love stories, but many of them also talk about girl power. In this presentation, I will use Kami-sama Kiss as my media example. You can click on the link to watch a clip of the animation. I will explore how this popular Japanese shoujo manga shows female growth through characters and visuals, and how it is wrapped up in a tenderized gender ideology and a seemingly empowering pseudo-empowerment discourse. First, let me briefly introduce Kami-sama Kiss. It tells the story of Nanami, a high school girl who becomes homeless after a family crisis. By accident, she becomes a land god and meets Tomoe, a powerful and moody fox spirit. At first, they don't get along well, but as the story goes on, Nanami grows and falls in love with Tomoe. In Kami-sama Kiss, the female characters look and act in a way that matches typical shoujo manga style. Nanami has long shiny hair, a slim figure, and big bright eyes. This fits the usual image of shoujo in manga: cute, pure, and gentle. She is kind, sweet, and always puts others first. She solves problems by caring for others and waiting for love. This reflects the idea that girls should be soft, patient, and someone who needs to be protected. Tomoe, the male lead, shows the perfect man image. He is tall, handsome, calm, and strong, but he also hides a softer side. As the story moves on, we see his weakness and emotions, which match the common fantasy in shoujo manga, where love makes the strong man gentle. In Kami-sama Kiss, the Nami character trajectory exemplifies the process of gender socialization in shoujo manga. On the surface, she is transformed from an ordinary high school girl into a land god, gaining power and responsibility. However, her growth is not achieved through enhancing her self-worth or realizing her own goals. Instead, her character is set up as sweet, kind, and emotionally strong. When facing difficulties and conflicts, she usually resolves them through self-sacrifice or by taking care of others, and emotionally she waits for responses from male characters. This reflects how the ideal shoujo is expected to perform within a specific cultural framework. As the article said, feeling ourselves being denied as shoujo, we got to know that shoujo or female child should be like this. We somehow learned how a shoujo should perform. The girl in shoujo manga becomes both the transmitter and the performer of gender norms. Through cultural and social representations in the media, women learn what it means to be an ideal woman, shaping perceptions of female identity. Next is the pseudo-empowerment in Kami-sama Kiss. In this plot, Nanami takes on the identity of land goddess and is given responsibility and power. However, in reality, just like in this plot, Nanami's power was taught by Tomoe. Her power and path of growth remain embedded within traditionally gender structures and romantic logic, what we may call permitted power. Despite her divine powers, Nanami frequently relies on male characters in critical moments, whether in battle, decision-making, or emotional support, with the male protagonist always playing the role of guide or savior. Thus, the so-called empowerment in Kami-sama Kiss is actually a visual and emotional fantasy, a form of limited liberation that reinforces the existing gender order. As the article points out, these female characters seem to have power, but their narrative centrality, authority, and recognition still depend on male structural support. They do not truly disrupt the dominance of patriarchal discourse. And this is my reference, and this is the discussion questions. That's all my presentation. Thank you for your listening.